GMAT verbal reasoning practice test to check readiness. Welcome to the quiz. Question 1. In a study of workplace productivity, researchers found that employees who took short breaks every 90 minutes reported higher job satisfaction and completed tasks more efficiently than those who worked for longer, uninterrupted periods. However, critics of the study point out that the participants were all volunteers who knew the purpose of the research. Which of the following, if true, would most strengthen the researchers' conclusion that taking regular breaks increases productivity? Is it A subsequent study with a different group of participants who were unaware of the study's purpose produced similar results? Or B, the volunteers in the original study were predominantly from creative industries rather than administrative roles? C, companies that have mandatory break schedules often see resistance from employees who prefer flexible hours. Or D, the participants who took regular breaks also reported sleeping better at night than those who worked continuously. The answer is A. Critics suggest volunteer bias or demand characteristics, participants knowing the hypothesis and behaving accordingly. A blinded replication with unaware participants showing the same result rules out bias and strengthens causality. Industry specificity weakens generalizability. Resistance is irrelevant. Sleep improvement is a side effect, not direct productivity evidence. Next question. The City Council's decision to raise taxes was met with widespread outrage from residents who felt they were already overburdened. The residents' response indicates that they believe is it a taxes should never be raised under any circumstances. Or B, the council's decision was financially unnecessary. C, their current tax burden is already too high. Or D, other cities have lower tax rates. The answer is C. Outrage at a tax increase combined with feeling already overburdened directly means residents believe their existing tax level is excessive/high. Never raise is too absolute. Unnecessary infers motive not stated. Other cities comparison absent. Remember, we can take your GMAT exam for you, remotely and undetected, and with 85% score guaranteed. No fails, no upfront fees, no deposit, pay only after results. Message us via number in bio to schedule your session. Next question. In countries where bicycle commuting is common, rates of obesity and related health problems tend to be lower than in countries where car dependency is high. Therefore, encouraging bicycle commuting would likely improve public health outcomes in car-dependent nations. Which of the following, if true, would most weaken this argument? Is it a car-dependent nations typically have colder climates that make year-round bicycle commuting impractical? Or B, obesity rates are determined by multiple factors including diet, genetics, and overall physical activity levels? C, some countries with high rates of bicycle commuting also have high rates of air pollution from other sources. Or D, individuals who choose to bicycle commute may already be more health conscious than the general population. The answer is D. Self-selection bias weakens causation. Healthier/more active people may choose biking, not that biking causes better health. Climate limits feasibility, but not core causation. Multiple factors explain correlation, but not weaken intervention. Pollution is separate issue. Next question. The popular online retailer has been criticized for the working conditions in its fulfillment centers, where employees reportedly face intense productivity pressures and limited breaks. In response, the company announced that it would raise minimum wages for all warehouse workers and provide more predictable scheduling. However, labor advocates argue that these changes do not address the underlying issue of excessive monitoring and unrealistic productivity quotas. The labor advocates' response suggests that they believe the company's announced changes are: is it A, genuine attempt to improve working conditions? Or B, insufficient because they fail to address core problems? C, likely to be reversed once media attention subsides? Or D, more generous than what other retailers provide? The answer is B. Advocates say wage/scheduling changes miss excessive monitoring/quotas core issues, meaning changes are insufficient/inadequate to fix root problems. Genuine attempt possible but not view. Reversal speculative. Comparison to others not stated. Next question. Although the new medication has been shown to be effective in treating the disease, it causes significant side effects in approximately 15% of patients, including nausea, dizziness, and in rare cases, liver damage. The existing standard treatment is less effective but has fewer side effects. A doctor prescribing this new medication must weigh its greater potential benefit against its higher risk of adverse reactions. The passage serves primarily to: is it A, argue that the new medication should not be used because of its side effects? Or B, describe a trade-off that physicians must consider when treating patients? C, compare the chemical compositions of two different medications? Or D, explain why some patients prefer the existing standard treatment? The answer is B. The passage presents efficacy versus side effect risk balance doctors face when choosing treatment. No recommendation against use, just description of decision trade-off. No chemical comparison. Patient preference not addressed. Next question. CEO, our company's profits have declined for 3 consecutive quarters. To address this, we must either reduce operating costs or increase revenue. Since increasing revenue would require a risky expansion into new markets, the only prudent course of action is to reduce costs through workforce reduction. The CEO's reasoning is flawed because is it A, fails to consider that reducing costs might also involve risks to company morale and productivity? Or B, assumes without justification that reducing costs is the only alternative to expanding into new markets? C, presents a false dilemma by ignoring other possible strategies for increasing revenue or reducing costs. Or D, relies on the ambiguous term prudent without defining what it means in this context. The answer is C. The CEO presents only 2 options: cut costs or expand markets, and rejects expansion as risky, concluding cost-cutting, layoffs, is only prudent choice. False dilemma because other revenue strategies, price adjustments, new products in existing markets, or cost reductions, supply chain efficiency, are ignored. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell us how many you scored out of 6 in the comments, and let me know what topic I should post next. Bye.